I'm Dr. Emily Preedy and I'm a researcher on Work Package 2, and on Work Package 2 we're aiming to grow algae to use the waste carbon dioxide from industry to clean it up and to grow the algae and hopefully use it up so it doesn't get released to the atmosphere. So my PhD, bit of a jack of all trades, started life with human stem cells. So I looked at the effect of metal particles within the cells and how it changes the mechanics. So from being able to grow human stem cells, I can now grow plant cells, which is the algae. So there's the link. And similarly, human cells uptake metals and uptake different components, which algae do as well. They're like Pac-Man. So we're sort of looking at how we can treat this algae as a type of Pac-Man and see what it can eat, meaning the carbon dioxide. Well, the first challenge was the actual design and build of the bioreactor, because that's something way out of my comfort zone. Mainly I worked in labs, so I was looking forward to doing all the work with the algae and growing it from small scale up to large scale, which was another challenge. I've never done such things to those volumes. We're using 5,000 litres of sort of media, which I've never done anything to that scale. But it's been lovely because I get to do the build work and use spanners, and it's like playing with giant Meccano. But then you actually get to do the sciencey side and the analytical processes as well, which is my comfort zone and what I like doing. Also, the growing of the algae is a difficult one because to get it to stay alive at those volumes is quite tough. You do need to keep it happy. I suppose it's like us, if we're too cold, we need a jumper. If we're too hot, we need to take it off. With the algae, it's the same. You need to keep them at optimum temperature, optimum pH, and any little stresses they have can change the outcome of the product and can have an influence on the percentages of protein to carb ratio and things like that. So there's sort of all those little details that we need to keep an eye on. I think firstly, to get industry to play ball is a big one, because obviously it might disrupt their production lines, and that's obviously cost for them. It's very expensive to put in place in the first place. So I think a lot of private companies wouldn't really want to invest in it unless they could see some profit at the end, which is why we want to harvest the algae to show you can make a high value product out of it. But I think if you have the right people in the right place and they want to improve their industry, and a lot of people do, I think maybe a policy change would help, that there should be initiative from the government to say, right, by this date you need to have reduced your carbon by X amount. Most people had a parent or grandparent who worked within certain industries around here, whether it's mining or metal. So it's definitely got a heavy influence, especially within the valleys. So if you could improve anything to do with those industries to retain the jobs here as well, then I think it would just be an all-round positive attribute to have within the local area. Especially for people to see what's going on. I think that's important. I think that's one thing that us as researchers don't do, is advertise what we're doing to try and help. They just seem to think, oh, the government projects, they're taking our money, we don't see any benefits. And I think this is a project where people could definitely see something's going on to try and improve things. I think that there's more calcium in algae than there is in spinach or milk, and same with iron, and it's got more iron products. So is there more nutrients in it than we think? It's obviously been used for years and years and years. Like, we eat seaweed around here. So what are the other health benefits? Are there could it help with arthritis? Could it help? I've read somewhere that it could help control blood sugar levels for diabetics. So there's sort of all these possibilities that are quite new and haven't really been explored. There's also another one sort of similar study, but it's to do with animal feed, and that feeding cows algae reduces their methane. So that's another possibility that could help the environment as well. So there's kind of little avenues between sort of healthcare and animal sort of feeds and things that could be explored.